It's your boy NRE.
What up, it's DJ EFN.
And you're watching Mechanism on
allhiphop.com.
What's going on, world? It's your man, Mr. Mac, here with allhiphop.com. I'd like to welcome you to the Mechanism. Welcoming two longtime friends.
Yes.
One longer than the other, but through osmosis, they both the same dude as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Your friendly neighborhood drunken superheroes.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself one time.
What up, DJ EFN?
Yeah, I go by the name of NRE, and we are the Drink Champ.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, fellas, let's talk about it. There's Joe Budden made a comment the other day where he said everybody in hip hop is trying to transition out of hip hop.
Interesting.
I think I may be paraphrasing him a little bit, but
Yeah.
I think the idea is clear, and I think you may have been pretty much the prototype for what he's talking. For dudes who don't end up in movies,
Right.
with a clothing line, with
Right.
a liquor brand, et cetera, this is kind of what it's looked like, and you're pioneering. New
But this would
ground
still be
on this.
considered hip hop to me.
Yeah, but I
But I guess he means specifically
outside of music.
the artistry of rhyming
Outside of
and
music.
making music, right?
I think that I think that's what it is. It comes a time in everybody's career where you just become old. Like, doesn't matter. You don't have to look old. You don't have to actually be old, but you're old to the people. Like, meaning, you did everything that you could possibly do. You went platinum or you went gold 4 times, and then these people just look at you just as if you're something that just used to be in there, right? So it happens in every artist's career. And every artist's career is just like, when they first come out, these guys are so special, but then after a while, they become normal, right? So you have to do something in order for that normal part of you not to be normal. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something. You got to transition. And I've been fortunate enough to have Drink Champs. Drink Champs, brought me to a level where I had other things that I was already doing. Like, I was already working on a food show, but it was easier to close the deal or get another deal because of Drink Champs. I was already working on a different show with this other, and it was easier because people see the success of Drink Champs. But what we had said this earlier, I think the reason why Drink Champs is so successful is because we literally wasn't trying to be successful. We were literally just 2 friends bugging out. Like, me and this dude do that shit all day.
Yeah, that was us for years.
For years, we used to come
before the camera.
Yeah,
before the cameras. Like, he would play poker, I would record. We would use his office, and poker is a long process. You know what I'm saying? Long game, and so it's recorded. And so what we used to do when I used to come out the booth and they used to finish a poker, whoever was still around, still drinking, still smoking, we would just call you a drink champ. You didn't necessarily have to even drink. But just as long as you stayed up because it was a long process and you hung out. So we started calling each other drink champs. But to get back to that, I think what Joe Budden is trying to say is once you're seasoned, you gotta find the next hustle. You have to, because it helps with the music, or it helps the next thing that you're doing. So once you're seasoned, you're gonna become old. I don't give a fuck. Hove is old. Busta's old. Fat Joe is old.
But creativity doesn't get old. And that's what I think is the key here.
So I'm about to turn the question over to the non-rapper.
Right.
And I want to hear from Yuri, and I'm gonna put this on your lap.
Okay.
That only seems to be a reality when it comes to rap.
Right.
No one ever ages out of rock.
Right.
No one ever ages really out of pop music. These dudes can go, if you're a singer, even R&B, the very next genre over.
Yeah.
These guys, and then reggae, the genre.
The reggae, the older it's almost like the better that the reggae artist is.
The more you're revered.
Yeah.
So why do you think?
I mean, it's ageism. I don't believe in ageism.
Right.
I think that if you're a quote unquote artist, now if you're just in the industry to just get your ends and exploit it and do what you got to do, which I have no problem with that as well. That's fine. But I feel like a real artist,
Go ahead.
a true artist is should never be pigeonholed to what they're doing. They should be able to spread their creativity to any part of anything they want to do. Podcast, you want to rap, you want to sing, you want whatever. If you're creative enough to explore those things, then you should be able to do that without a problem.
Yeah.
So I just think that I don't believe in the whole thing of you shouldn't be the age thing, the where you come from, backgrounds, anything like that. Like, I always use Khaled as an example. Like, if you would have told someone 15, 20 years ago that someone like Khaled would be one of the biggest stars in hip hop, they would have laughed.
He's the biggest rapper.
Think about it. You know, it's this overweight, you know, Muslim guy that came to Miami by way of New Orleans and Orlando, and you would have told someone 20 years ago that's going to be the biggest star in hip hop, they would have been like, no way, he didn't fit that stereotype. And that's what I love about Khaled's movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that every artist should be able to go in any direction. And I don't think, and I think what we're doing specific to what Joe Budden said is that this is just as hip hop as if him rapping or me DJing.
Yep.
You know, and that's the same thing. Like I have separately, I do a documentary series where I go to different countries. Like I don't actively DJ like I used to, but I feel like I'm just as much of a DJ now that I ever was. You know what I'm saying? Instead of 2 turntables, it's what we're doing here, you know?
But the
creativity is still there. I feel like I'm still creating.
It's funny, we both in separate worlds did traveling things. Like I did a traveling food show and he did a traveling for hip hop.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to Haiti for hip hop. I'm just throwing that out there. Like me, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like he puts himself like in a line of fire. Like I ain't doing that. Like I want to go to nice places. You know, I want to eat food in nice places. But he does that for
like
hip hop.
yeah.
That's no more hip hop than that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Grown, older grown. I never really.
I like grown. Though.
I like
I
grown.
can't really dig calling you old.
Yeah.
I'm grown.
When you interview somebody like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith
Right.
and the dude is 70.
Yep.
What you're saying, that's part of like the funny side of my whole white beard thing that I ended up not dyeing it. At first, I didn't mean for it to be completely white. You know what I'm saying? I was like comfortable with the salt and pepper, but I wanted to make kind of a statement in the sense that like, why should anybody have to hide their age? You know what I'm saying? Like, why in hip hop we can't get older and get better? You know, and that was kind of like my little thing. You know, I don't know how much of an impact it made, but for me, that was something that was important to me. You know what I'm saying?
But grown, but to answer your question is, we are grown, and what I mean by that is, you know, when you're young, you live for the moment. When you're grown, you live for your life. You live for tomorrow. You live for, you know what, if I do this dumb shit today, I know where I'm going to be at in a couple of hours. So, in a sense, that's why to me, this is Jay-Z's best album, right? In my opinion, my humble opinion, because, you know, some of these albums that he put out prior, some of them went over my head. Some of them, it took a year for me to, like, that, what was his first album? Reasonable Doubt. I didn't catch on the Reasonable Doubt until 2 years later. You know what I'm saying? Because I was still stuck on Illmatic and things like that. So 2 years later, I had to come back. But this album, he directly spoke to our souls, to that I'm not no different from you. I'm hip hop, but I got the baddest girl in the world, that's my wife, that I actually messed up on, and I was scared to lose her. You know what I'm saying? Regular people problem. To me, that's what makes you grown, when you address it, and you're not. I egged Solange on. All along, all I had to say, I was wrong. That was ill to me. Like what? Like you actually said, even though I think this all plot is me. You know what I mean? But to me, being grown is dope. Like you know, Travis Scott and Little Uzi Vert and Little Yachty, whatever they'll go. Let them be young. Let them be who the hell they want to be. We shouldn't be critiquing them. Because I remember us being critiqued. But at the same token, they can't critique us because we're the people who laid it down for them. There might not be none of them. In a funny way, there might not be none of them. You know what I'm saying? Mumble rap or whatever they want to call it. Like I don't choose to not like it. I don't choose to disrespect it. I don't take that route because I am the older brother. And the older brother, sometimes you just gotta talk to your little brother. But if you chastise him in public, he has no choice but to come back and try to chastise you, even though you can be 100% correct. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I like to be grown. I 100% love to be grown. I 100% know that, you know, I'm not gonna stay out till 6 o'clock in the morning because I gotta wake up in the morning and do the Breakfast Club or I gotta do the morning show. So I'm gonna take the grown approach and say, I'll go to sleep at 3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
Jay caught a lot of flack for not speaking this way until he was 47. I saw a lot of tweets that said something to the effect of, you know, a man can wait till he's 47 to get his shit together. With a woman, you can't do that. We don't have that luxury.
Well, women mature faster than us anyway.
Yeah.
Like you could. That's why you can be 40 years old and get with a 22-year-old and y'all click because she's actually, her mind frame is at a 38-year-old woman.
And no one has the right to dictate when you grow up or when you decide to say or do things.
Like when people
on your own time.
the J album, it was so stupid. This man made an album with no radio records. No radio records. He made pure hip hop. He brought it, instead of complaining about what he wanted to hear and what he wanted to, he made it. To me, that is the dopest thing in the world. So when they critique, so he's 47 to get grown. At least the motherfucker got grown. How you gonna critique
some real shit?
How you gonna critique greatness? Like nobody knows when the fuck you're gonna be great. I heard fucking Samuel L. Jackson got turned down 300 times. You know, he auditioned and then he got his break at 40 something. What are we gonna say? Damn, it took him 40 years. Nah, let's stop thinking of the negative and let's think of the positive. This man worked and he did it and and it worked. Who cares, man? You know, they said DMX for 10 years before.
Yeah.
He was dropped from labels 10 years before he popped. We can't predict what's in God's plans. That's God's plans. And anybody trying to critique that is idiots. I'm sorry.
No, it makes sense to me. My thing is, number one, imagine we probably wouldn't have gotten this had he retired when he said he was going to.
Right.
And I've always felt like the reason why hip hop hasn't matured is because we don't let it, because we continue to turn it over to the youth, who don't know where they're going, don't have.
Or the OGs keep acting like the youth instead of acting like their age. Doesn't mean they can't like certain things, but I just felt that OGs stopped being OGs, and I've said this a lot of times on Drink Champs, and that's and it's our generation's fault of hip hop heads, you know, like. When these guys weren't acting their age and wanted to be in the club still or act like they're still like the guy that's 21 years old, that's where the problem lied. Because then the younger guys growing up didn't have any role models in that sense. You know, you need something, even you might not act like that, but it's like your parents telling you something when you were a little kid and it kicks in 10 years later. You're like, that's what my parents, but it kicks in eventually in time to like save you from some bullshit, you know? And that's what I think happened in hip hop, like OGs stopped being OGs.
Yeah, that's what we gotta. It gotta be a lot more of, like, you know, as opposed to chastising these young brothers. You gotta. Some of these dudes is making great money. It's hard to tell them stop, young homie. It's hard to tell them, yo, look, you know, go study Biggie Smalls. Big is not big to them. Kanye is big to them. You understand what I'm saying? Fucking, you know, they didn't get to see Pimp C.
See, this is where, and I hate to jump, but this is where I disagree with that.
Okay.
Mostly because, number one, if I'm a new artist, one of the main goals I have
study your
is
culture.
to figure out where the culture is, where it's been, where I'm going. Number one, you can't claim to be an innovator if you don't know what already happened.
You have to know what happened.
Reinventing the wheel. Number two, all movement is not progress. Just because you're doing something different.
I'll give you a great example. It's just like Young Thug. It's just Young Thug. I think it's Young Thug. He went to Sway in the morning and said, yeah, I'm calling myself Slime because no other rapper calls himself Slime. Now, everybody will sit back and say, this is a bad thing. NORE said that in 2001. But instead of me doing an interview, I expect Sway, that's my only time I ever had a problem with Sway. But I was like, Sway, how the hell you let this guy say that? This is the reason why some people just go off, because nobody's correcting them.
Nobody's checking.
Nobody's saying, yo, look, young homie, we get it. You're the only one calling yourself Slime now. Look at Nore's album in 2001, 2004. They've been calling themselves Slime since then. And then the Bloods took the Slime, and then it got back to him. So he's saying, I'm calling myself Slime because I'm Blood, right? And that's what Bloods call themselves now. But the origin wasn't that. Nobody called themselves Slime and that was cute. That was us. But instead of me saying, yo, Young Thug, and yo, this guy, he doesn't know what he's talking. No, listen, homie. First off, it was Sway. I call Sway. That was your job right then and there. But two, I just, I addressed it and that was it. It's no problem with them. But if they don't know, you can't be mad at somebody who don't know.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't know the truth, you can't diss them for that. Now, if you give them the truth and they continue to do something, then that's when they're in the wrong. But most of these young guys, they're just not even in the wrong.
I think what you're maybe we're thinking is like, when I was a kid, I remember kids in high school that loved, we all loved John Lennon or the Beatles or some older, and this has nothing to do with our generation. Even as a hip hop head, like I said, OGs were telling me, like, whether it be a De La Soul or this, they were mentioning things in songs that were before my era, and it made me go back and dig in the crates and look about, you know, like, I wasn't raised with Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel. That wasn't my era, but I made sure to understand it and respect the origins of and the pioneers that came before me, and that's kind of been lost now.
But that, and we make it sound like we're the only genre who requires that. There's no art form where you can go forward not knowing the masters. They don't allow that anywhere.
Right.
There's no guitarist who doesn't know who Hendrix is.
Exactly.
Who doesn't know how Eric Clapton got down.
But what we got to do is we got to start promoting that. We got to start.
That's what we're doing.
This should actually be a real hip hop Bible. This should actually really be a hip hop Bible. But I kid you not. All of these guys, the young guys that I named, their managers is our age.
Right.
They don't got no young managers. They don't got a young homie from the hood. So whenever they call me and say, "Yo, I had such and such watch this version of Drink Champs so he could learn," that shit brings honor to me. Like I told EFN this one day. I'm in LA and I'm checking in the hotel, and I'll never forget this because it just feels like it happened yesterday. And the kid comes up to me, he's like, "Yo, you put me on the duck down." One part of me wanted to smack the shit out of him. Like, what the fuck you mean I put you on the duck down? But then the other part wanted me to hug him because he was 24 years old. He probably wasn't around when Duck Down was out. So then he shows me his phone. He shows me all the Duck Down albums. And I'm like, you serious? He said, "Yo, NORE, to tell you the truth, I don't know nobody you interview on Drink Champs." He's like, "Yo, I'm 24, kid. Like, I don't know nobody." But I learned that kid should be saluted. And that it should be continued to be a platform. Like, we had the Source, this is like a new version of the Source. It's just live, and you get to see your quote unquote heroes regular. Like, if you're a Rick Ross fan, you had to see when he took that 4th shot of Tiger Bone, he was sweating like a mother flipper. You don't get to see your star sweat. You don't get to see them put on the bus. You don't get to see vulnerable because I'm their peer, so they open up to me. You know what I'm saying? They know that this is a DJ, this is a guy that was on the street team. So they open up to us. But this is what should be promoted. Like, we could continue the genre, the culture could continue to grow if we want to grow. But we must give the platform. We must give these kids a chance to learn.
But most of us, there's a difference, though. I think that people can't differentiate now.
Vince Staples,
we're a culture. And then there's music of the culture, and some people are I'm just a musician in the industry making money, and then there's hip hop culture, and a culture should have its history, and people should know it if you identify yourself with being a part of the culture.
You were saying about Vince Staples?
I was saying Vince Staples was one of the, me and him had a little whatever, and when I spoke to him, the knowledge that he knows, I'm like, damn, he should be the teacher of the new generation, because his love for the music and him going back and doing research on things that he wasn't around, I just appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I just wish it was more like him. You know what I'm saying? I wish it was more like him. That, guess what? Bow Wow doesn't mean to me what it does to him, because I wasn't 6 years old when Bow Wow was out here killing them.
Right.
You feel me? I was already a grown-ass man with hits under my belt. I wasn't looking at Bow Wow going, yeah, but that wasn't for me. It was for the 6-year-olds. It was for the people of that generation. That's why he made kid music. It was for the kids.
So can we have hip-hop that's for grown men?
Yep.
It's
happening.
I think
without
implicated
it,
more with the Jay-Z album. Not to say it hasn't happened before.
No, I think 100% Jay-Z sent Nas back to the lab. Sent Puff back to the lab. Sent most of us back to the lab, because at the end of the day, you can't be 20 years talking about drug dealing, right? We just can't, right? Let's just be honest, right? There's no way that anybody believes us at this point, right? Like, after you clearly make $1 million in public eyes, there's nobody believing when you say, I'm moving packs. And, I'm a stab something, and shut up, NORE. Like, I mean, me, honestly, I really looked at my shit, and I was like, damn, I gotta go in and do some other shit. Because I can't continue to do that. Because one, I'm not doing it. And two, on top of that, Doesn't nobody believe that at this point?
Well, I kind of believe that you would.
No, what I'm saying is that was then, right? But now I have to upgrade. I have to do something that caters to who I am now.
Growth.
I have an 18-year-old son. My son is, I have an 18-year-old son. He's in my room right now. I got a responsibility. I can't be acting 18. You understand what I'm saying? I got a daughter. I got other children. I can't be acting 1997 NORE. It just doesn't work. And for me as a businessman, it actually is going backwards. So with the introduction with the 444, it put weight on all of us. It put weight on everybody. I'm 39. I've been in this game since 1997. I'm 39. I will be 40 years old this year. I have a responsibility. I have people that may have grew up with me through my music. And to them, they want to grow with you. That's why my fans went with reggaeton. They didn't agree with it. But they went with it because I've been giving them great fucking stories and great feelings for years that they went with me. But as soon as I got back to hip hop, they came with me. But now I have a responsibility. I can't act like Noriega is still this wild kid. He's just not. I'm just telling you, I hate to be late to something. Like, I enjoy going to Costco's on Sunday. I plan my week to the shit. This is real shit. I'm like, man, I'm going to get them Avion. I like Avion water. You can't get it in bulk other than Costco's, and they ain't pay me for it. You understand? But this is really who I am. So if I was to really, make an album and it be gangster shit, like, it's like Pharrell. Like, the other day I went to the studio with Pharrell. Pharrell plays me the most amazing beat. Me, I write rhymes like this. As soon as you hear the beat, I'm already writing. Every bar that came out my shit was crack, dealers. Pharrell, I don't want to shoot nobody no more, Pharrell. Can I be happy too?
Straight up.
You can't be the only one happy. You hogging up the happiness. You know what I'm saying? So I had to tell him, I was like, yo, I'm happy too, my brother. You're not the only one. Like, but in his mind, he sees 1997 NORE. That's when our first hit was called Super Thug. So no, Pharrell, I just wanted you to know, I never wanted you to come to my world. For 20 years, I wanted to go to your world. I want to go where the shirts are tight. I'm in. I want to go there. You think I don't like parties that don't end in shootouts?
Right.
You don't think I deserve that? I want to go to Baccarat's and where they be doing the funny dances. Come on, Pharrell. So I had to tell him that. He finally got it. It took me 20 years to get this record I got for him. But I had to let him know, like, I get what we made in the past. I want to push the envelope for the future. And unfortunately, Pharrell, I don't want to make a gangster record with you at this point. It just doesn't make sense for your career because you made happy. There's no way they're going to clear you saying, shoot them, AK, and I'm making people happy. This is what Drink Champs is made. It's made for two friends. The celebration, and we give the people their flowers where they can smell them, the trees while they can inhale them, the thoughts while they can think them, and the drinks when they can drink them. You feel me? So, and that's just really a transition in life. That's really what it is. It's like, you gotta grow. And Jay put the pressure on everybody. He put the pressure on everybody. Like,
but this is a good pressure to have.
It's a great pressure because we have to grow up. We have to grow up. Like, wearing all this crazy stuff, that's for the kids. Let the kids be kids. But we got responsibilities. We got, the same way we got children and we got responsibility, we got children in music. There's people who from 1997, there's people I see on Instagram all the time. There's guys from 1997 that have the War Report all the way up to any of my new singles, and will prove it and show it. I gotta show him some type of growth. I gotta show that girl that's been down with me since 1997. I gotta show the younger dudes who, one dude said, yo, I just heard nothing. He said, so I went back and I went to your whole catalog. I didn't even know you were dope. Like, it's cool. It's cool, but even them, like, they need to see something different. And that's why Drink Champs, that's why you see that Drink Champs work because the concept of drinking with an artist isn't new. That's not a new concept, right? You can work at any record label that go and have some drinks and drink with an artist. That's not new. What's new is what we're saying, how we're saying, and we're bigging these people up. These people don't expect a legend. to actually have respect for another legend or just another artist. That part has never been seen. They like, I'm a quote unquote legendary artist. I pick up artists that's haven't done half of the shit I did. But when they come on Drink Champs, it's a celebration of their life. It's a, you know, hoo ha ha ha, you know, pom poms is up. And I have never not picked an artist up that came on.
Did you ever get a chance to get Mobb Deep on the show?
No, we got Havoc.
Havoc was on the show,
and,
which was an amazing episode.
It was an amazing episode, and then me and P, we worked out our issues. I got to see him the last day in Las Vegas, him passing away, and so we obviously we didn't get it, and I'm worried about Havoc right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I know him, and I haven't seen him since Prodigy passed without glasses on. And that's like a clear message, you know what I'm saying? So I want to be there for him. I haven't hit him as much as I should, but I will. You know, New York, I can't think in New York. I got to get back to Miami. I'm going to be honest. That's fucked up. You know, I'm a New Yorker, all right? But I'm going to be honest. I need a little bit of sun. I've been on the road for 5 weeks. I need a little bit of sun and a little bit of relaxation. I cannot relax in New York. But Havoc, wherever you at, I want to send my love.
Did you guys see what was your thoughts of with the mural kept getting messed up?
I knew it was hood politics off top. I knew exactly what was going on, who it was coming from, and why it was being done. It's a situation I can't really go too in depth with, but it's just a sad situation all around.
I was always under the impression, and forgive me if I'm wrong.
Yep, if a person is dead.
I'm a lifelong New Yorker myself. My thought has always been, I'm not a quiet boy. But, you know, once a person dies, the beef is over.
Right.
Like whatever beef you had, once that person is gone, even if you the dude who did it.
It's true, but when you got, you know, it's all, you know, being like a kind of devil's advocate. When you got a person that's, you know, doing life in jail, they don't care, and that's just really what it is. And you know, unfortunately, some people forgive different. Some people. That's why I choose not to step on your shoe. Because if I step on your shoe, I can't control your reaction. I can step on your shoe and you can spit in my face. Now you took it too far.
Right.
But I should have never stepped on your shoe. So that's why I try to live life like that. You know what I'm saying? Can I always be right? I don't know. But, you know, I'm learning from this as well. You know what I mean?
Well, what I'm learning is what drunken conversations look like
Right.
amongst legendary artists.
Yeah.
And we are all learning that when we watch Drink Champs, and hopefully y'all learn something today watching my joint with these two fine gentlemen.
Yes.
That's DJ EFN.
That's right.
This is NORE.
Yep.
This is allhiphop.com.
Yep.
Welcome to the Mechanism.
Mechanism. Boom. Hey, let me get a slice of pizza real quick.